Well, hello Internet. It's been a bit of a delay, and we have made some progress. First, just to say, the delay was because of life, work, kids, everything. So we did in fact reboot the server, and we have made significant progress since the last video, and I want to show you. So here's our office building, which has gotten fleshed out a little bit. I think I showed the garden last time. We've gone through Project City Beautification, where I have pretty much taken the streets, made them nice, restored a lot of these buildings, added some parks, added some benches, and as Ramen would say, I have fallen in love with light blocks. So we've been doing some stuff, but let's show you some of what we've been doing. First thing is we got our AE system back up and running, and it runs on a trunk using facade blocks kind of going all the way up here. So these are just painted conduit facades that makes the ME blend in. We've lit the whole place with these nice clear white blocks. I've turned the sound down, so hopefully that sugarcane farm doesn't annoy as much. Oh, wrong floor. I think I showed this before too, but we have our, I call these ad hoc machines. This is our ad hoc floor where we just kind of throw ad hoc machines. As you can see, we're still kind of stuck in medium voltage, but we're about to jump to high voltage. One cool thing we've done is we figured out you can make Ender conduit, or ME conduit with Ender IO. And because Omnifactory has channelless applied energistics, you can run this conduit all over. It can share blocks with all the other Ender IO conduit, and then you just pop it in right here, and you can even transfer power using P2P tunnels. So that's cool, and I might do a video about how that exactly works later. Let's see, I already showed that stuff. Let's go up a floor. So I think I showed this, but our drawer system is back in full effect, and we have put our ME hub right here. We've got all of our ME drive banks. We've got an IO port because every once in a while I have to clean up after everybody else and make sure that we're using drawers efficiently. So it lets me very quickly pull a drive out from here, throw it into the ME chest. For those who don't know, if I grab an ME drive, put it in the ME chest, I can then access that drive and see what's in it. So I can easily get stuff out, see drawers. And so what you can do is take, like here's stone. That should not be in an ME drive. So now I'll take that drive out, put it up here, and because I have stone seated in a drawer, I could put the ME drive there and dump it in. But so what this does is it takes anything in an ME drive and dumps it into the system. So it's very useful if you take a bunch of stuff out of these ME drives, seat it into our locked drawers. You can then kind of trick the system into putting it where you want it to go. Let's see, I have stone over here. There we go. No? Oh, I'm holding the wrong thing. Oh, I'm in creative mode. Oops. Well, that was silly. Sorry about that. So we kind of have dust, we have ore, we have kind of plant and mob-based stuff, construction stuff, and then if we come down here, we have machine and Omnifactory and GregTech, more machine type stuff. You can see we have all sorts of wire, some various other things, and then we have two walls for ingots, and this is nice because we can get in compacting drawers, you can on the fly choose between blocks, ingots, and nuggets. So that's handy. So that's the ME situation, or the drawer and ME situation. And then if we come up a few more floors, the ore processing is the same as it was Our polyethylene plate system is kind of chilling. We need to automate it here. I never finished that. But so we're going to hook this up to the ME. I compacted it a little bit, but this is the same as a few videos back. But now if we go up a level, we have auto crafting. So much auto crafting. Hey, Ramen. See if he says hi. So Ramen has been building stuff out here, and the basic idea with this pack is there's a ton of, so we have inscribers for AE, we have all of our crafting monitors, ME interfaces, crafting storage, assemblers, and more interfaces. The idea here with the auto crafting is that most of the stuff in this pack actually requires you to use the oh, that's not right. Where does he have one? ME interface. So he can put the patterns in here, and the patterns will actually have the recipe or the quantity of items. So when you go to your terminal and you craft your thing, I don't know what he's doing, but let's see, that's the pattern terminal interface. So we can put the patterns in, and it'll supply the materials into the machine creates it, and then it'll come back out. So essentially, oh, this is very nice. We have all the SMDs. Oh, happy day. The basic idea being it supplies the materials, they get made, and it pops back out. So that's pretty cool. I think it really unlocks the pack a lot, because instead of babysitting stuff, you get a lot of really cool stuff. Up here, this is kind of our clubhouse. I might have shown this before, but we killed the Ender Dragon, and we did it the old-fashioned way. We went there and killed him, got some cool prizes. We'll add more cool prizes. The roof is the same as before, it just has a farm. So, the next thing I'd like, ooh, what is he doing? Let's go downstairs and take a look at what has been happening. I have a habit of digging very big holes, which is kind of silly. I'm going to get away from that. That's what was making noise last time, so sorry. So we moved our initial deep mob learning interface out of this area, put some extra dust storage in, and then downstairs I dug a hole to bedrock, because I do things like that. But the cool thing it let us end up doing is giving us a ton of space to build stuff. So the first thing we made was a 10 unit wide blast furnace. And so the way this works is blast furnaces, if you don't know, can share their walls. So this 3x4 would be a normal blast furnace, but we can cheat and build another one, and another one, and another one, and another one, and another one, da 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 da. And then up top, we can design these to either, what did he do? Oh, I see. We can use Ender IO conduit. I'm guessing these are input buses. Yeah, so he's putting in energetic blend and gold, so he's making, I don't remember what that does exactly, but it looks like, oh gosh, with these filters, he has automated blast furnacing of stuff. So we have 10 essentially slots of automatable blast furnaces, all sharing it. So you kind of use, I think it's 2n minus 1 amount of materials. So we can save on what, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 copper nickel coil blocks per. We can save on a whole chunk of stuff right there. So it's a really nifty way to do it. And then, so that was the first big thing we added. And it's on this platform, just to make it clear so that we can easily access the bottom here. So I have cable going. There's a little break, more cable, so we have CEFs on each end. Underneath, we can access all of it. Hello, companion cube. Yeah, so that's nifty. And then, oh boy, did we expand deep mob learning. Boy, did we. I'm probably going to do a whole video on this in the near future because I think it's a really cool self-contained system. But basically, you need data models. Here's a data model, a slime data model. And you need pulsating polymer clay and power. And that will give you pristine matter on occasion. It's a chance-based thing, so if I look at this, it has a 30% chance to give me pristine slime data, and then that can go down into the loot fab, and we have it set up to make, I think those are silver coins. So essentially, run the data model. We put little item frames here to help identify these a little more easily. So anyway, we get the model. It flows down via these item conduits. Once the pristine matter comes out, that goes into the loot fab. The loot fab plus power equals one of the items. And then we have the items outputting into these drawers, and those are hooked up to the ME. And as you can see, we have done slimes, withers, guardians, ghast, spiders, zombies, skeletons, creepers. Yeah, I think these are witches. Thermal elementals, I just used different outputs of theirs to show it. The wither, shulkers, and the end dragon. There's a few more we have to do, but we haven't quite gotten there. And we got all this stuff legitimately. We have pretty much ceased cheating anything in. Because once you get this up and running and get these models going, you can see this generates a lot of resource. Just a lot of resource. And so I believe there are 56 total deep mob learning outputs. So this little alcove is designed such that we will be able to put the full complement in as we need. Over here, this whole setup is making pulsating clay. And this is a pretty redundant setup, so that we just have a ton of pulsating clay. I think this is 2 whole lines. But basically, you need glass, and then you need dust blocks, and you need one other thing that's escaping me. But with all of that, and the proper machines, you can make pulsating polymer clay. Then you're good to go. I think we have up here a bunch of Enderman data models that are spitting out ender pearls. That was the third thing, ender pearls. And so then the ender pearls, the glass, and the dust blocks go into all these machines and eventually spit out all of this pulsating polymer, or whatever it's called. Can't remember the name. Pulsating polymer clay, yeah. If you go search, if you're playing Omnifactory, if you go to the GitHub for Omnifactory, if you just search Omnifactory guides, there's actually a bunch of nice guides in there that show what the processing chain for this is, and you can kind of jump into it wherever you want. So that's that. The other part of deep mob learning that we haven't really, I'm not going to show all of it, but let's see, that's where he's processing the coins. Down here, we have a trial keystone, and you can use that with trial keys to do fights that get you glitch hearts, that eventually let you build the glitch armor, And I think the cool thing about glitch armor is that it gives you, once you have the full set, more pristine matter when you kill mobs, and flight. So it's the first legitimate way we've gotten flight in this pack. I will say the dark steel armor is still way better for day-to-day usage. But if you need flight, it's a way to go. Glass, clear glass. But so this chamber is also the exact size of a chamber you need for the trial keystone. I'll do a video on that all on its own, just because it's a bit of a discussion about kind of maybe how you would want to do that. Oh god, Spider-Man. Yeah, that'll be its own video. Come on. And then, so this is unfinished. We just finished our distillation tower. I'm going to spend some time building a whole bunch of chemical processing processes that go into drums and such over here. That's my task for the next few days. But then, once you start getting into deep mob learning, you need a lot of power. Because you need to run all the simulations to get your resources, and some of these start real easy. For example, this is 64 RF per tick to run the simulation, which isn't so bad. But if you want to run something like the Ender Dragon, that's 6,666 RF per tick. So that gets pretty expensive. So we've been in kind of a vicious cycle of using a whole bunch of shulker models. I think almost every one of these is a shulker model. Yep. One of the outputs for shulker models is diamonds. And diamonds, besides being a girl's best friend, power numismatic dynamos. We've got just a few of these. 27. We have 27 reinforced numismatic dynamos being fed. So we've got, 15,500 diamonds here. Being fed by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, let's call it 20 shulker models. And then we have a whole line back here solely dedicated to producing all of the polymer clay. So I think if I work backwards, we can see exactly how this works. We get glass. It's clay, sand. Interesting. I'm not even sure exactly how this works. Maybe that's just weirdly colored sand. Nope, that's clay. I didn't build it. Let's see what we got here. So we have cobble generators. Turn it into gravel. Turn it into sand. Turn it into dust blocks. Turn the dust blocks into clay. This is interesting. I'll bet you he's looped it around somewhere. Yeah, so the glass comes here and becomes nether quartz. The nether quartz gets, so here we have ender pearls getting turned into liquid ender. And then we have nether quartz plus resonant ender becoming resonant clathrate. Resonant clathrate. And then we smelt the resonant clathrate into pulsating dust. And we smelt clay, that's where the clay comes back around, and pulsating dust into pulsating polymer clay. So there's your chain. And then those, that's going up and around. Yep, up and around, turning night vision on, and feeding all of these. Are these Enderman? Yes. So he's got the Enderman models feeding the loot fabs to feed ender pearls, and over here so we're essentially going from cobble and ender pearls all the way through to our pulsating polymer clay, feeding our shulker models, which are feeding our numismatic dynamos, which is powering our entire base, and primarily powering all of these deep mob learning models that are getting us what? We've got silver, nickel, platinum. Wow, we have a lot of platinum. Lead, gold, more silver, copper, iron, tin, coal, aluminum dust, glowstone, redstone, saltpeter, sure, why not, obsidian, blizz rods, blitz rods, basil's rods, snowballs, I'm sure we could get blaze rods out of that too, emeralds, wither skulls, and I don't even know a drop of evil or dragon's breath do, more diamonds, and more platinum coins. I don't know why we have multiple platinums going, but we do. So yeah, we have a lot going on here. It's really exciting. I think we are about... So let's see, we've pretty much completed the beginning. I think we're getting pretty close to completing that. Oh, micro miners. Yep, I know what I'm doing soon. So we're going to get into micro miners, and we're getting ready to go to space. We're starting to get to mid-game. We're starting to clear out the end game. So a lot of cool stuff happening. Yeah, I'm probably going to talk more about, I guess I did just talk a ton about deep mob learning, but kind of some of the other aspects of deep mob learning, and I want to get all these chemical reactors going and show you guys how we're going to try to automate all the chemical inputs and outputs. So, thank you much, sorry for the delay, and have a good night, Internet.